Hello, and welcome to Manage Your Business Finances using Microsoft Excel. My name is Troy A. Berger. I am a Microsoft Innovative Educator and a Microsoft Certified Professional. I am also the owner of Tab Training and Consulting LLC, where we believe in motivating and empowering today's efficient, effective, and productive users of technology. So when you think about financial management tools, there's usually a couple of names that come to mind. Now, you probably know two of the three, so let's see. So here's what usually comes to mind, right? QuickBooks, Quicken, and the new kid on the block, Zero. Relatively new compared to the other two, but just as powerful as an accounting program. Now, there are also many apps that are out there that you can download depending on what platform you have that will suffice. But here's just something I'd like for you to do. I'd like for you to think outside of the box. And so what I mean by that is don't go with your traditional accounting programs. And usually those programs have a very steep learning curve. And as a new entrepreneur and small business owner, sometimes we just don't have the time and or the finances to allocate to such an endeavor. So as you're contemplating that, why don't you think about something that you already have on your computer, more than likely, regardless if it's a PC or if it's an Apple-based product. And that is Microsoft Excel. And so with a little bit of information, some concepts, some features, such as how do you plan and develop a Microsoft Excel workbook to make it do what it needs to do, right? Right? Your workbook consists of such basic commands and features as formulas and functions, sum if functions, if statements, charts and graphs, data validation, which is critical as far as creating a drop down menu, and also the infamous pivot tables, which everyone seems to know about, and some of us don't quite know how to maximize the use of it. So let's talk a little bit more about manage your personal finances using Microsoft Excel. The program is made up of 4 modules. There's a setup module, there's the budget module, which is 1.5 hours. The setup module is 6 hours long. The charts module is 1.5 hours, and module four to round it off, is the analysis module. Right, that's once you get all the information in, you have a measuring stick using the budget. You create a visual representation of the data. Now you want to be able to start addressing questions and predictions and projections, right? That's the analysis part, and that's 3 hours long. So the whole program is 12 hours in total length. And let's take a sneak peek at what that workbook, that tool will look like, right? Now, what I am sharing with you and what I really believe is that this is a simple and user-friendly digital expense and tracking tool. And by the way, you're using something that you don't have to shell out more money for. And learning Excel is usually not a bad thing. It will come in handy as you grow your business. So we start off by creating several business lists within your worksheet. And these lists will pop up in different areas and different parts of this tool that you'll be creating. And we start from listing out the business expenses. If you want to have a higher level, a higher way of organizing the expenses, then we also include categories. We also set up payment types, payment received information, as well as service categories, right? For all the services that are related to your business. We also will create a business dashboard, which kind of gives you that one picture view of what's going on. And as long as you're due diligent with getting your receipts and information into the system, this should be really accurate as far as what you have on hand, what has come in, and kind of a graphical representation of all of that information. Now, what you don't see here is kind of a subtotal of the expenses, but that definitely is part of the dashboard. Next, we have a worksheet that we will implement the business budget, right? To give us a way to start forecasting what those expenses should be and a way to better manage our expenses, right? If we create a budget, that's something we need to stick to. And if the opportunity presents itself where we can bring some of these budgets down, then that's a way for you to save money or reallocate money to other items that you'll need within your business growth. Now, the daily expenses worksheet is pretty much where a lot of the magic begins. It's just recording all of your receipts, the information, how did you pay for it, the amount. You also can record receipt numbers, tracking numbers, as well as where did you actually make the purchase for that particular expense. We follow that with the revenue work tab, a tab worksheet where we're tracking all the revenue coming in. Now, if you have 5,000 transactions a day, then Microsoft Excel is definitely not the tool for you to use. But keeping in mind that we're thinking out of the box, and this is for that entrepreneur, that small business owner who is just getting started and may not have as many transactions, so it's a little easier to track and keep a grip on. Contributions, this is unique in the sense that if you have someone or a business that is providing some form of contribution to the development of your business, then this is a nice little worksheet to track that information. As well as ultimately, once all this information gets in, especially your revenue and your expenses, that you have a profit and loss statement for that particular month. Now, one of the things that we do with the Manager of Business Finances training program is that we just focus on the month and we build up each month one at a time. And then ultimately we can create a tool that combines all of those months, which would be 12 individual files, to give you kind of that year-long view of what's going on. So here you're capturing revenue, you're capturing expenses, and revenue minus expenses will either give you a plus or minus profit or loss for that particular month. Here's a bonus that we're throwing in is helping you create a mileage log, right? Another expense that I think a lot of us entrepreneurs and small business owners, especially during that startup phase, we tend to forget to include. But this is just another expense that happens in the course of doing business. So there you have it, sneak peek into the Manager Business Finance tool. I've shown you some of the screens, and hopefully you'll sign up to start the training with us. Again, I'm Troy Berger, owner of Tab Training and Consultant LLC. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.